Oh, hey everybody, welcome back to Cycle Fab. I'm Larry. I've got 3 videos coming up that's going to be in a series. It's either going to be 2 or 3 videos. It all depends on how long it takes me to make a set of these. Now, but much better looking. These things are hideous. These are triple trees, or rather the steering head off of the GS550. Some people call them triple trees, some people call them steering heads, but anyway, it's where the fork's attached to the bike, okay? I'm sure everybody knows what these are if you're watching this channel or if you like motorcycles in general. Anyway, like I said, these things are god-awful. Ugh. I mean, seriously, these are some of the ugliest steering head or fork clamps that I've ever seen. Originally, they came with a piece of chrome sheet metal around it to dress it up. But anyway, the top one's made out of aluminum cast and the bottom one's made out of steel. It's also cast and the stem is welded into it. I'm going to adopt the stem into the set that I'm making out of aluminum and probably pin it in. And of course it's going to be pressed in, but just for extra safety reasons, I'm going to go ahead and pin it in. This is not a video on how to build a steering head, all right, or fork clamps. This is how I do it. And if you guys want to follow along with that, if you're planning on building some yourself, great, that would be wonderful. I have found other videos on YouTube where people are making these. The only thing is they're making it seem a lot more complicated than what it really is. Now, granted, they are doing a lot more with contours and lightning cuts and so on and so forth. Like, I think one guy was trying to duplicate a Ducati steering head, which, you know, those are pretty intricate. I get that. But there's 3 main things that you need to take into consideration here as far as machining this. And it's the 3 holes that make this up primarily. The 2 fork holes and the stem hole. That's it. Now, as far as the clamping slots, so, you know, it can hold on to the forks, still, that's something else. And, you know, there's holes for screws and so on and so forth. I'm not talking about that. You can put those pretty much anywhere. But getting the 3 holes, the main 3 holes in the right spot, that's the critical thing. That's what this is. It's the first critical operation procedure. The first one is actually just, you know, sectioning this out, cutting it to length, getting it prepped for the mill. And that's what we're going to do in this video. And like I said, I might be able to do this in 2 videos, but to, you know, do all my contour cutting and everything like that, it's probably going to take 3 videos. But anyway, you guys follow along. I hope you enjoy it. By the way, before we get started with the video though, give me a fat thumbs up if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. And go ahead and hit that notification bell too so you know when my next video is coming out. Now let's get on with this. All right, got this knocked out, literally. Now, there wasn't much of a weld on there, just a tiny bit. All I had to do is just hold it in. So anyway, now I can get my measurement off of this right here. And after I clean it up a little bit, probably might turn it down just a little bit on the lathe. Then I'll get my dimension off of here, then transpose it over to that. We'll get our first hole. And like I said, after the first hole is initiated, then I can get my X and my Y on my fork holes. I've got my 2 pieces off the mill and face to length. In other words, they're equally the same. Now what I'm going to do is spray layout dye on them, some Dicom or some CRS. Now those are name brands that make layout dye. There'll be a link down in the description below for them if you want to check them out. What I'm using today is Osborne. Picked this up cheap, or I was short-handed and needed some. I really don't remember where I got it at. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at, there's several different brands. Daikin being number one, also the most expensive. CRS is probably the least expensive, like by $5 or $7. But anyway, if you need some, go down there and check them out. First thing I want to do is take some lacquer thinner or some acetone, either or will work. And we want to clean the surface of these off. Get all the coolant off of them, oil, residue, anything like that, and let that dry, which takes just a few seconds. Now you just spray your layout dye on it. For those of you who are hobbyists, hobbyist machinists or whatever, and you've never heard of layout dye before, this is great stuff to have if you're going to be doing any machining. For one reason, it just allows you to mark on the surface of your workpiece without having to scribe down into it, and you make more exact lines on it with a scribe using this versus a felt tip pen. Okay, let's scribe some marks on here. Okay, the next thing that I do is I actually go in and scribe 2 lines. This is going to be my 0. And you can see right here, there's a close-up. What I mean by this being my 0, this is going to be my start-off point. This is the axle. This is what connects the 2 heads together, the 2 steering heads. You have a lower one and an upper one. I'm going to go off so far one way to bore the fork hole for the left side, and so far the other way to bore for the right side. Now there's like 90 different ways you can do this. You can go just off the edge and count over 1, 2, 3 holes. I like to go off of center of the mass because of discrepancies that may be involved here and there. Anyway, it doesn't really matter how you do it, just as long as the job gets done. That's what foremans have been telling me for the last 30 years until I became a foreman and I started saying the same thing. I don't care how you do it, just get it done. This is the way I do it. If you choose to do it a different way, great, just as long as it works. Okay, we're set up. I've got my vise dialed back in. You always want to double check your vise, or at least I do, always double check before I do any precision boring. It doesn't take much to get these knocked off, only 2 or 3 thousandths. So anyway, got that squared away. We're ready to pop the first hole. And this is what I will be using. This is called a center drill for those of you who do not know what this is. And it's just a very precise way of keeping your 0 where you want your 0 to be. In other words, it won't walk on you, not something this big. They come in various sizes, really microscopic all the way up to massive. You can check down below in the description area for the products that I used in this video and also for the powder coat diffusers that I manufacture. Please tune in next Sunday for episode 2 of Making a Steering Head. Thanks for watching Cycle Fab. You guys take care. I'll see you next Sunday.